So this video is the history of the Dreamcatcher. I thought for some of the art side of it, as far as looking at Native American culture, typical things that they have would be Dreamcatchers, totem poles, stuff like that as far as art goes. So I figured we'd look at the Dreamcatcher. So let's watch.
Showing you what original Dreamcatcher was used for. So the first photo I'm going to show you is of a baby sleeping in what is called a cradle board. Now these cradle boards are carried on a mother's back, or they can be propped up against trees or just left in the teepee or in the hut or yurt or wherever they were sleeping. It made it easier for the mother to take care of the child. So Dreamcatchers were originally made to hang off this baby's cradle board. Now, we need to thank Frances Desmore for her extensive research and effort she has put into conserving the Native American culture. Frances Desmore was an American anthropologist, and she collected Ojibwe dreamweb charms between 1919 and 1920, and these are collected in Minnesota. The first few Dreamcatchers that were ever collected looked like this. So they really represented spider webs, and they were hung on the child's cradle board, and it was said that they catch everything evil, and the spider web catches and holds everything that comes in contact with it. This includes negative energy, negative thoughts, negative spirits. So this is a photo of where the Dreamcatchers were hung on the baby's cradle board. In the old times, the webs were made of nettle stalk twine, and they were coloured dark red with the juice of bloodroot and the inner bark of wood plum. And the netting would always symbolise the spider woman, who is also like the Native Americans' version of Gaia or Mother Earth. So she is the one who creates all Earth, and she protects Earth's beings, and she protects the tribe and people. Various things were also hung from the hoops for the babies. So sometimes they would keep the child's umbilical cord, because it was told if the child's umbilical cord was separated from the baby too early, the child will lose all its wisdom in life. The mothers would also attach little cones filled with maple sugar, with birch bark, and then the children could actually chew and teethe on it as well. So it also entertained the children as well as protecting them. So that was the first documented thing of a Dreamcatcher. So as tribes aged and they started seeing how effectively a Dreamcatcher worked for the children, they started making them as art pieces. So here is one of the first Dreamcatchers. Now this one was collected in Minnesota, and it looked like that. Very much spiderweb-like, and not really the web we see today. So this one over here is a wooden hoop, and it is carved with the shape of a snake. So this was worn by a warrior, and he would actually have it pinned into his hair, and it would protect his scalp lock, which is just a long lock the Native American warriors had, because their hair was sacred to them. They wouldn't cut it, and they believed it had spiritual powers. So the net would also protect the warrior, and it was hung in his hair. Now the next photo I'm going to show you is very much more Dreamcatcher-like. So this one is a Cree tribe net. So this one is more advanced in the weave. So it is debated who made the first Dreamcatcher. Historically, the Ojibwe tribes made the first Dreamcatchers, but as they intermarried with... So, okay, let me make an example. So as they intermarried, the Dreamcatcher culture and tradition spread. So say that an Ojibwe female would marry a Lakota male. She would have children, and she would teach her children and fellow women in the tribe how to make Dreamcatchers. So her children would also make Dreamcatchers, and they were part Ojibwe as well. So they passed on the tradition like that. So you can't really track back too far on who intermarried who, because this was pre-civilization, as we would call it. Here's another photo of an artifact found that represents the spiderweb net, and this one is definitely more of a medicine wheel kind of look. A medicine wheel is a whole different video, but if you know what that is, or Google it. So now we're going on to more of dream catchers we can know and recognize today. So the photo I'm going to show you is a Lakota dream catcher. So this was put up in the family's teepee, and it was a talisman of protection. Now, dream catchers don't just protect from bad dreams, they protect from evil spirits, evil thoughts, and evil ideas. So it's kind of like a vision board, as we would call it today. So you would attach hopes and dreams for your future and what you would like your life to look like, and it would be a visual reminder of that. So this one is definitely spiderweb shaped on the inside and very much not a dream catcher shape just yet. The next photo I'm going to show you is by a Native American artist who is still alive today. His name is Nick Hard, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but he has exhibitions all over the world of what the traditional dream catchers look like, and he recreates them based on his tribe and his lineage's history with dream catchers. So here is one of them now. So Nick was born in the Bear Clan, and he's practically spent his whole life in Native American culture. He has exhibited in Paris, and he has a permanent exhibition in Montreal, and if you would like to find him on Facebook, you can do that as well. I'll link that as well if you guys would like to look up his work. Here is another one of his works. So this one is called the Blue Beaver. So it's got beaver teeth, and the 3 hoops represent past, present, and future. Everything in a dream catcher is meant to be symbolic, so you can add whatever you would like your life or what you would like to bring into the world. Let this be a visual representation of that. Here is another traditional dream catcher. So this is out of the book DreamCatcher Lore and Artifacts. I will link that down below as well. So just a note with making your dream catchers today, please be aware that some feathers are illegal to possess, and they are most definitely illegal to sell on dream catchers. So any protected species such as owls or eagles or maybe even some kind of macaws, you can't sell or put them on your dream catchers because it's actually illegal to come into possession with them because they're endangered. So Nick Hard, he collects all his things from nature, and I encourage you to do the same when you make a dream catcher. Collect them from ethical sources or do it yourself. If you live in the city, you can go and ask someone who's experienced to have those materials brought to you. It's always important when you're making a dream catcher to honor Mother Earth, because Gaia, who is the spider woman, who is the spirit that is said to portal through the dream catcher to protect you and your family. Sorry, the video just stopped, but you are also here to protect her and protect Earth and protect one another. So the dream catcher goes into a lot of hoop medicine. If you don't know what hoop medicine is, I will make a separate video about that because it's a very long topic. But practically what it essentially encapsulates as a dream catcher is a symbol of unity. So the circle is the circle of life, what goes around comes around, and I will go into a whole separate video because I will go on for a very long time. But this is another traditional dream catcher. If you guys may be wondering why aren't there so many dream catchers found, that is because of the materials they were made out of. So when they go looking for artifacts of dream catchers, sometimes this is all they'll find, and what it is really is just a piece of twine, sinew, or rope. And this happens because a dream catcher is made out of natural materials. If it's left out in the elements even for a few months, it gets broken down and it disappears essentially. It's not like pottery that can stay preserved for a few decades or maybe even hundreds of years. So it's very hard to find the very first and the very old dream catchers. So the closest thing we can have to an original dream catcher are photographs of them and ones that are preserved in museums. So I hope you guys liked this video and you found it interesting or informative. I have a Facebook group that is now dedicated to the education of dream catchers. So you are welcome to join this closed group on Facebook where we are going to be discussing and teaching the lore behind dream catchers and the symbolism and the spiritual side of a dream catcher. So if you would just like to look at pretty photos of dream catchers and appreciate the art of dream catchers, that's perfectly okay too. I have Instagrams and Facebook accounts dedicated to just showing you photos of dream catchers that you might like. There's a very particular way that I make dream catchers that happens off camera, and there's a lot behind the process of making dream catchers that isn't discussed, and I think it should be, because it actually holds so much importance to the world we have today, especially with what's going on with our environment and the way we're treating Earth. If you start making dream catchers, it really stimulates the thought patterns you make of, where does this come from? What do I want in my life? What do I want in the world around me? And it's extremely important, especially for the youth growing up. Anyway, I'm blabbing on, and if you guys would like to add into the forum or join the Native American spirituality page, you guys can check that out as well. We have a whole group of natives and non-natives that are collectively discussing and adding information about the Dreamcatcher. You can add your story about Dreamcatchers, your experience, whatever you would like. It's all on there, it's all moderated, it's a safe platform where we can all talk. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!